Now at 5, now deleted social media post sparks controversy, prompting a former city commissioner to resign and end his re-election bid. Plus, Father's Day spending is expected to break records. But what are shoppers really picking up for Dad this year? And
Israel launches an attack on Iran in a major escalation. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with more on Iran's vow of retaliation and the Trump administration's response.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
In a now deleted post, former Commissioner Don Edwards detailed an alleged encounter he had with children at the City Aquatic Center. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Anthony Saviello. In response, community members accused Edwards of making sexually harassing comments about young women. Along with his resignation, Edwards says he no longer is seeking re-election. Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states hosts a special fundraiser. Children's authors from around the 4 states came together to do a book sale. Books on sale are a wide variety of ages and genres.
It's up to the author how they want to do it. Some people are donating absolutely everything that they sell, and some are giving a portion, or some are giving all the profit to them.
If you wish to purchase a book, you can email Kelly at kellyredden.com. Well, with Father's Day just around the corner, Americans are gearing up to show their appreciation, and they're putting their money where their hearts are. According to financebuzz.com, spending is expected to top a whopping $24 billion this year on gifts and celebrations. But what exactly are people buying for Dad? We hit the road to find out.
Camping gear, tents. He loves hammocks to be able to tie him in between trees and stuff.
Anything for fishing or hunting.
I always count on him needing handkerchiefs or ties.
According to financebuzz.com, Father's Day is the 4th largest holiday for greeting card sales, following Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, and of course, Christmas. Well, let's go ahead and check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, and of course, we got more showers and thunderstorms across the region, especially late last night and into the morning hours. And we still have some showers kind of pushing through southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas. Most of these in our far eastern counties: Stockton, Greenfield, Lockwood, Mount Vernon, down toward Aurora. But we are still going to have some hit-and-miss guys out there as we go through the evening hours. But rain chances pretty low tonight, fairly low tomorrow, except our western counties. But they start to sneak back up again tomorrow night and into Sunday. So we are going to have more scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go into the weekend. Let me take you through the evening hours clearing out for us tonight. So we'll start tomorrow morning, but we could get some pop-up thunderstorms mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, especially as we get through the daytime hours. Better chances tomorrow night. We'll look at that here in a bit.
All right, Doug, see you soon. Well, Food Truck Friday turned Central Park into a hub of flavor, fun, and community connection. Visitors lined up to sample food from more than a dozen trucks and vendors, serving up everything from cheesecake milkshakes to street tacos and more. For local businesses, the event serves as a chance to introduce their new food trailer to the Carthage crowd. And while the food was a draw, the fun didn't stop there. Families enjoyed beverages for all ages, and as the sun set, classic rock music filled the park.
I think anytime you can come out to an area where there is a ton of different options, and not only is it a ton of options, it's a ton of options ran by people who are truly passionate about what they do. So coming up to get, something from London's Calling or from us or from Donut Envy, it's like we're all very passionate about our product. So you just always are going to receive something that's a higher quality.
Food Truck Friday takes place from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the second Friday of each month from April to September. Well, breaking this afternoon, Iran has fired dozens of missiles on Israel after Iran's supreme leader vowed to retaliate against Israel's attacks. CBS News correspondent Erica Brown reports from the White House.
Air raid sirens sounded throughout Israel as Iran launched an attack. Explosions could be seen in the sky as missiles fell on Tel Aviv. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, addressed his nation, saying Iranian armed forces will leave Israel, quote, helpless, and that Tehran will not pursue half measures in its response. His warnings follow an Israeli overnight attack targeting Iran's nuclear program and military sites, killing top nuclear scientists and military leaders. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Iran's efforts to produce a nuclear weapon threaten Israel's survival.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
This Tel Aviv resident expressed support for Israel's actions.
It gave us relief knowing that Iran will never take advantage of nuclear programs towards Israel.
The Trump administration says the U.S. was not involved in Israel's military operation, and the president met with his national security team this morning. In Tehran, Iranians protested Israel's attacks. Journalist Dan Raviv authored a book about Israel.
Israel's been planning this for years. The Mossad, Israel's spy agency, has really penetrated Iran to a deep degree.
This afternoon, an Israeli military briefing was cut short, just as Iranian missiles were detected heading towards the country. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
White House officials say the U.S. is helping Israel intercept Iranian missiles. More than 20 injuries were reported in Israel. Coming up, a new study warns that younger caregivers may be putting their own brains at risk due to common preventable health issues. And next in Health Watch, with Father's Day around the corner, a reminder that dads need to prioritize their health too. And experts have 5 key tips to help. Topping today's Health Watch, a new analysis finds dementia caregivers are more likely to report risk factors that increase their own risk for dementia. Researchers at the University of Minnesota and the Alzheimer's Association say those risk factors include smoking, hypertension, poor sleep, diabetes, and obesity. Almost 60% of caregivers report at least one of the risk factors, and almost 25% multiple risk factors. Caregivers under the age of 45 are especially vulnerable, according to the study. New research from UCLA shows hospitalized patients with COVID-linked acute kidney injury are less likely to need dialysis and are more likely to survive after discharge if they were vaccinated. Acute kidney injury is common for COVID-19 patients, with rates topping almost 50%. The study finds unvaccinated patients with the syndrome had a 5-time higher risk of dying in the hospital. And there may be a link between exposure to synthetic compounds known as forever chemicals before birth and high blood pressure during teenage years. The research out of the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health finds the link is strongest for boys and black children. People are most commonly exposed to the chemicals, which build up over time through drinking water and food, personal care, and household products. Well, don't forget to celebrate that father or father figure in your life this weekend. Sunday is Father's Day, and a perfect time to urge your favorite guy to extend his life. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has 5 top health tips for men.
It's not always on top of the priority list. Fathers and father figures may need a push to focus on their health.
Men in society are expected to be the leaders of their family units, to be strong, not to complain, endure pain, work through it.
Dr. Edward Cartman with El Camino Health in California says stress can take a toll, but there are 5 tips men can use to optimize their health. First, get regular checkups and get screened at each stage of life.
So in their 20s and 30s, be screening for testicular cancers. When they get into their 40s and 50s, start looking at heart disease. In 60s and 70s, looking at cancer risks and screenings.
Next, find ways to manage stress. Cartman says regular exercise is a perfect stress reliever, and it can also help with the third goal, maintaining a healthy body weight. That can help lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, sleep apnea, and more. Fourth, prioritize getting good quality sleep, a key component for both mental and physical health. And finally, Cartman says to make sure your testosterone levels are balanced.
It's an equivalent hormone to estrogen in women. It plays a lot of similar vital roles in terms of bone health, energy, mood, muscle health, just a variety of things. There's studies now coming out showing that a healthy testosterone level is related with a longer lifespan.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Karpman says testosterone can play into longevity by keeping people moving as they age and preventing falls and fractures, so that continuing an exercise program is possible. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, a South Philly grandmother fights back after hundreds disappear from her bank accounts.
Plus, we do have some more thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, we got some more scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms, especially late last night into the early morning hours. As our upper level low, you can see the counterclockwise spin right across the state of Missouri into Arkansas. Again, we haven't had anything too strong or severe, which is good news, and most of us we're kind of right on the back edge. We still have some thunderstorms in our far eastern counties, but overall, I think it looks pretty good as we go through the rest of the evening hours. However, more rain chances in the forecast. These chances will start to sneak up. We could get a few random storms for us tomorrow, but really Saturday night into Sunday, that's when those chances get back at least into that scattered category as we go into Sunday. So let's look at your weekend. Tonight, I think pretty quiet. We are going to be watching some thunderstorms to our west, and a few of these guys may get in southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma as we get into late tonight and tomorrow morning. But I really think most of the day is dry. Here's 1:30, warming up into the 80s. Once we get into the afternoon, we got to watch for scattered hit and miss thunderstorms once again. Most of these, Oklahoma and Kansas side, then kind of falling apart. And then tomorrow night, a bigger batch of thunderstorms work in. If those guys can get going, they'll most likely be strong to severe. I think the bulk of it will drive into Oklahoma, but we should get at least some scattered showers and thunderstorms in here late tomorrow night, and then as we go into Sunday morning. So I think the first half of Sunday, we're going to be fighting those clouds, scattered showers, and thunderstorms really into the middle of the afternoon. And then most of these will start to rotate out. But this will keep our temperatures into lower 80s on Sunday, and still even a few scattered showers Sunday night into Monday morning. So rainfall potential, again, we just got to see where these heavier bands set up. But where we do see the storms, a lot of areas will pick up a ½ inch to an additional inch of rain, which of course we don't need across the region. 86 Saturday, let's go 80 on Sunday. Better chances for thunderstorms on Sunday, especially Sunday morning. Those that do develop will have the potential to be stronger, possibly severe. Looks pretty good out there right now. We have those cumulus clouds kind of bubbling up. Nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. And it's warm. We got upper 70s, a little bit cooler on the Missouri side because we have more clouds and those scattered showers. Mid 80s. Once you get out across southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, through the evening, slide back through the 70s, eventually into the 60s later on tonight. So the reason we've had our rain, look at our upper level flow. Here's an upper level wave, which is going to rotate out of here as we go through the next couple days. But around this ridge of high pressure, we get a few more little guys that drop in. So that's what keeps our chances for rain around as we go through the next few days. 86 Saturday, 82 on Sunday. Look at this though, 90s building in next week, but here's the good news. We start to see a drying trend as we go through next week.
It's we've talked about it a little bit before in recent weeks, just a lot more rain this year than
it's been wet for sure.
And I think we're all ready to dry out a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks Doug. Coming up, pop star Sabrina Carpenter just set a release date for her next album, and the first single is already breaking records. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the House has passed a recessions package that would look to claw back $9.4 billion from foreign aid, NPR, and PBS funding. President Donald Trump said voting for the bill would be a no-brainer. But a new Senate Democrats report said around 60% of radio and TV stations in states the president won would be gutted by the cuts. The bill now heads to the Senate. And Barbie is stepping into AI. Mattel, the toy maker behind the popular brand, and others like Hot Wheels and Fisher-Price is partnering with OpenAI to create new AI-powered toys and games. The company says the new products will create, quote, age-appropriate play experiences with an emphasis on innovation, privacy, and safety. Seeing a charge you do not recognize or your account can be really scary. But dealing with that fraud can be different depending on the type of card you use. Josh Sidorowitz explains.
Even when they're not here, they're here.
With 6 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids.
And all of them, they're my heart.
Barbara Ross cherishes the family photos she's got all over her home.
My granddaughter.
But she is not a photographer.
Where the heck are they?
So,
oh, here they are.
When nearly $500 in charges appeared on her debit card for cameras she didn't buy, she disputed it with TD Bank, but they turned her down. A senior living on a fixed income, it's money she says she couldn't afford not to have.
I was not going to let it go.
Sarah Rathner at NerdWallet says Barbara's case highlights the biggest difference between debit and credit cards when it comes to unauthorized charges.
With debit cards, when a fraudulent withdrawal is made, that is actual money withdrawn from your checking account. And that means that you're not going to have that money available to pay other bills until the bank finishes investigating your case. With a credit card, the money is charged to your account, but until you pay your bill, you're not out any actual money.
And unlike most credit cards, which carry zero liability for fraud, you could owe up to $50 for debit card fraud. But that's only if you report it right away. But if 48 hours pass before you notice the charge, under federal law, your liability jumps to $500. And after 60 days, you could be on the hook for the full amount. You didn't purchase these.
I swear on the Bible, I have no cameras since I got my phone, and I have all my photos in my phone. I have no cameras.
So I reached out to TD Bank on Barbara's behalf, and within 24 hours, she was credited the full $469 back to her account. A TD Bank spokesperson told me, "We can report we have been able to achieve a positive resolution in this matter."
Can't believe it. They put the money back. They did the right thing after you got in touch with them. It took you to do it.
If you do use a debit card, NerdWallet says it might be a good idea to keep a low balance. That way you can at least limit the damage of a fraudulent withdrawal if it does happen. I'm Josh Sidor with CBS News, Philadelphia.
To protect yourself, experts recommend checking your accounts daily, reporting any suspicious activity immediately, and using credit over debit when possible to limit liability. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the crisis deepens in the Middle East, what it means for U.S. forces in the region, and the cost of gas at home. Then on KOAM News at 6, we'll talk about why a planned protest in Knoll, Missouri didn't happen. Plus, Ronald McDonald House has a new way to raise funds with the help of some authors. And what are people looking to buy, Dad, this Father's Day? Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. And Doug, I'm about tired of all this rain.
I think everybody is. Sure. We've had tons of rain moving in really since the beginning of April. So it's been super wet. Now as we head into the weekend, a few random storms tomorrow, much better shot tomorrow night into Sunday morning.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you've had to mow your lawn a little bit more often than this year too, haven't you?
I'm hoping to do that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes. Yeah, I am too, because I'm not looking forward to foot-tall grass or anything like that. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. Have a great night.